Hello, I'm Chris Vander Doelen with the Windsor Star, and I am here with Christine Elliott, MPP for Oshawa Whitby, candidate for the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario's leadership. Christine, what did you think of the Forum Research poll that came out in August that said that you were the leading candidate of the half dozen or so seeking the leadership?
Well, I mean, that's just a snapshot at a particular point in time, and the leadership won't be decided until next May. But I'm very encouraged by the support that I'm getting as I'm traveling across the province, and let's hope it holds.
Now, why would such a successful MPP as you've been want to lead a party that's frankly been pretty terrible at the polls the last 4 elections? Why don't you just move up to the federal level where you'd no doubt be successful?
Well, that was a consideration, of course. There is a by-election that's happening in my home riding in Whitby-Oshawa, but really my heart is in provincial politics. I really think that the issues that you deal with provincially are the issues that touch people most closely, healthcare and education, and that's what I really want to have a hand in helping people. But I think as far as our party is concerned, the silver lining in such a terrible loss for us is the fact that we do have 4 years to rebuild our party. We have a lot of work to do, and I want to be part of the solution. So it's a tremendous challenge, but something that I really feel strongly can happen so that we can come back and win the next election in 2018.
So what can be done to reinvigorate the party?
Well, I think we have to start valuing and respecting our party membership. I did attend most of the consultations that the party conducted during July, and what we heard across the province was that there is no value in our membership, that we, as a party, we take and take and take. We expect people to be involved in election campaigns, to donate money, to put in signs and canvas, but then we don't give anything back to them, and we keep coming up with policy decisions at the last minute that don't reflect the views of the members, and that's why we keep losing elections. So we need to change that, make sure our party members have a say in all aspects of the party, particularly policy development, and that's how I believe we'll win.
Now, did the party make a mistake by veering too far right last time? Was that the problem that voters had with Tun Hudak, or was it something else?
It's really hard to say. I don't really see it in terms of left or right or center. I think it's just what's good, solid public policy. And what happened in the last election was we frightened people with the 100,000 jobs cut. We didn't say we were going to fire 100,000 people, but that's how people interpreted it.
Wasn't it going to be an attrition
Attrition,
loss?
largely, and also through program review and getting rid of redundant programs, which I think most taxpayers would have expected us to do. But that's not the way it was interpreted. So I think that part of it is communications, that we just don't communicate our message really well, and part of it is just the particular policies that we chose. So it was unfortunate, but we're learning from those mistakes.
Well, I found it very odd that the party didn't dispel the notion that you weren't just going to fire 100,000 people. I mean, the city government here in Windsor did the same thing. They downsized, and it was hugely popular with the electorate here. And yet, when it came out that, they're going to slash 100,000, your party didn't dispel that notion. Why didn't it?
Well, we tried to, but at that point I think the message was already out, and it's really hard to change a message like that. And of course, our opponents in the campaign use that to their advantage. So I think what we really need to do next time around is make sure that any policies that come forward get vetted through the perspectives of a variety of people, so that we'll know that by the time the policy hits the door, that it's going to be well received by the voters of Ontario and by all of our party members as well.
Now, some members of the party tell me that they think that there are still far too many staffers left over from the Mike Harris and Ernie Eves years. Is this true? Does the party need to clean house in the back rooms?
I think that most of the people who were involved in the last campaign are no longer there. Our new interim leader, Jim Wilson, I think is doing a really good job. He's brought a lot of new people on board, and I think that we have a fresh start. I think that there are many new faces there that are people that are doing a really good job.
I'll give you one last political question. Should the province be limiting third-party election spending, because it seems to have had some kind of an effect last election?
Well, I think that the Working Families Coalition was working actively against us. They spent something like $15 million in that campaign, and there's no question that that was very difficult for us to get over. So they outspent the party? Yes, absolutely. And we as a party have taken the issue to court, and the courts have decided that they are legitimate third parties. So I think the challenge for us is to build a coalition that can work alongside of us to get our message out. But I think we also need to take a look at repairing some of the relationships with groups that have not traditionally been supportive of us, and trying to find points of commonality. So going to unions, for example, and speaking to leaders and members about what we're all about as progressive conservatives, and try and have a fresh start with them and see if there's some things we can agree on. It doesn't mean that you're going to be pandering to unions or giving in, but I think that if you don't have a discussion, if you don't engage and show some respect there, that you're never going to move forward. So I think that we really need to reach out and build that coalition, and that's what I would intend to do as leader.
And finally, a family question. You're the mother of triplet boys in their early 20s. I guess they're in school. Any sign of any of them following their parents into law?
Well, actually, one of them is. He's writing his LSATs, the law school entrance examination, tomorrow. Okay. So he's very nervous about it, and so am I. But hopefully he'll get in. It was something that he's just decided in the last 6 months or so that that's what he would like to do. So it'll be nice to have one into the legal practice as well. But my other two sons are doing really interesting things as well. So I'm very proud of all three of them.
Well, good luck to them.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. This was Christine Elliott. I'm Chris Vander Doelen with the Windsor Star.